Hi, my name is Mashanta, and in today's video, I'm going to go through all the Huda Beauty lipsticks, lip products that I own. I have 18 Huda Beauty lipsticks across different formula, and therefore, I hope this will be a useful video for you if you're in and around my skin tone, or even if you aren't in and around my skin tone, if you just want to get a sense of how these lip products perform, what they look like, then I think you'll find this video useful. So as I said, I have 18 Huda Beauty lip products and these are split across different categories. I have 9 in the liquid lipstick formula, 2 in the 4 filler lip gloss formula, 3 in the standard Power Bullet matte formula, 1 in the creamy glow bullet formula, and around 3 in the lip blush formula. So let's quickly get started with the biggest category that I have, which are the liquid lipsticks. I'm going to be swatching them, applying them, and giving you my thoughts in terms of performance. So just to show you the number of lipsticks that I have, these are all the Huda Beauty products that I have. Starting with the liquid lipsticks, like I said, I have 9 liquid lipsticks and I have these in a combination of minis and full sizes. So you've got the full size versus the mini. The mini has around 1.9 ml and the full size has around 4.2 ml. So around 2.5 times. So if you're not sure about this formula, I love that Huda Beauty has many options in a lot of her lipstick formulas, so you can experiment with them before really spending your money on something that's more expensive. And we always underestimate how long lipsticks last us. So whenever there is an option, I always go for minis, and I highly encourage you to go for minis as well. So starting in no particular order because we have a lot of lipsticks to go through. I'm going to start with one of my absolute favorite lip shades. This is First Class in the mini. This is a liquid lipstick, has a doe foot applicator. This is a brown with red undertones. Or is it the other way around? Is it red with brown undertones? I don't know. On camera, it looks more red, but on person, on me, it's definitely brown with red undertones. I really like the doe foot on these liquid lipsticks that Huda Beauty has. They're very sturdy, very strong, pretty high quality. It's a fairly thin formula. You can see that was just one swipe, but it looks like a hint of color. It's a very thin, runny formula. And depending on the age of the lipstick, you start smelling the alcohol in the formula. This one is still new in my collection. So it has a scent, but it is a sweeter scent, so it won't be overpowering or irritating. These lipsticks do dry down matte, but they do take some time to dry down. So I'm just going in with a second layer. And as I deepen the pigment, you can see how the brown is peeking through. Going in with the third layer. Gonna wait for it to dry so that I can show you how it dries down. It dries down to a creamy matte finish. This is kind of dried down. If I waited it for longer, it wouldn't smudge so much. And once it's completely dried down, it doesn't smudge. Right now, I do feel it's like 80-85% dry. So you can see, once it dries down, there's really limited transfer. But it does smudge. So when you have greasy meals or cups of coffee, it is going to require touch-ups. It does dry down very comfortably though. Next, I have another mini and this is in the shade Perfectionist. If I remember right, this is a bit too light for me, but I've just held on to it for review purposes. Again, as a sturdy doe foot, it's a baby pink sort of a color. Oh, it's actually pretty. Could this work for me? I don't know. Yeah, I was right. It is way too light for me, gives me concealer lips. But the performance of the formula is similar to First Class. It's a liquid lipstick, has a longest dry down, but once it dries down to a creamy matte. And I do think this is going to dry down a bit deeper. So I'm going to wait for it to dry down and come back. If you're lighter than me, then on its own, I think it's definitely going to be a lovely color. But if you're in and around my skin tone, it's going to be worth waiting to see that once it dries down, if it becomes a workable color or not. Here is the lipstick. This was Perfectionist dried down. It clearly is a bit too light for me. I wouldn't, in person especially, it really gives concealer lips. But I'm going to try making this work. I have this Huda Beauty lip contour in the shade Rusty Pink. You can see this is how it swatches. It's a warm reddish pink, and I think this would really help offset the lightness of this lip color. It looks a lot better. It looks beautiful with the lip liner, but of course I've actually changed the color of the lipstick. but these two together look great. By the way, these liquid lipsticks are quite difficult to get off. You really need to rub it with the micellar water. I'm using the Bioderma micellar water, which works pretty well for me across all lipstick formula, but this one is quite hard to take off. See, it hardly comes off. So I'm going to take this off and be back. Now we have a red lipstick. It's quite in your face and definitely makes an impact. This is Miss America, again in the mini size in the liquid lipstick formula. It's a bright red with pinkish undertones. 너랑 나는 운명 너를 보고 싶어. One of the challenges with this formula is because the formula is so thin and runny, it can easily bleed out of your lip line if you're not too careful. So while the thin formula is super comfortable on your lips, it can also get messy during application. And given how rich the color is, I don't need more than one swipe of this lipstick, which is great. And as you can see, this lip color, it makes such an impact. Obviously not working well with the makeup that I have right now, but on days where you're lazy, you don't have time or don't want to put too much effort, with just a bit of eye makeup and this color, that's all you need to make an impression. This lip color is also not for the faint of heart. If you're the kind of person who does not want to really stand out too much, then you might really not enjoy this lip color. I think there are good occasions for one to use a lip color like this. I love red lipstick, so I don't really shy away from using this. This has now dried down decently, and you can see very minimal transfer. It is quite pigmented, so even though I have pigmented two-tone lips, just a single swipe was enough to cover it all. But I would say it's less to do with the formula and more to do with the color. The lighter shade that I just used before this, which was Perfectionist, required multiple swipes, and even then, I could still see the natural pigmentation of my lips coming through. So this is Miss America. I really, really like this color. I think it's beautiful, makes a definite impact. But of course, it's the kind of color that I would reserve for special occasions. Next, I have Sweet Talker. And this is again, if memory serves, one of those lipsticks that's way too light for me, but I still held on to it for reference and review purposes. Liquid lipstick formula. It's a peachish nude, slightly tending to pink. Definitely going to give me concealer lips. But for the purposes of science, let me swatch it for you. That is one swipe. You can definitely see that it's quite thin, doesn't have enough body. The natural pigmentation of my lips does speak through. Similar to Perfectionist in the sense that it will dry down slightly deeper, but even after drying down, I think it's going to be too peachy to really show up on my skin tone. It's going to be giving me concealer lips. See what I meant by concealer lips? This was one swipe in. I'm going to go in with another swipe just so you can see the true color on my skin tone. I think standalone, this is honestly such a lovely color. If you're lighter than me, I think this would be the most perfect nude. But I have a sneaky plan to kind of try to make this work. I haven't tried this before, so it's going to be a bit of live experimenting that's happening, but let's see. Gonna wait for this to dry and come back to show you how this looks. While it's drying, I want to show you what I mean by it being a really thin formula with limited pigmentation. You can see there's a bit of grainness on my top lip. That's because my lips are naturally brownish deep because I do have pigmented lips. That's what a lot of brown skin girls have. This lip is not pigmented enough to cover the natural pigmentation of my lips. In the Huda Beauty formula, the deeper colors get away with it just because of how deep the color is. But on the more lighter colors, you can see that the formula itself is not very pigmented. So I have two lip liners, both from Huda Beauty, which could potentially help this lip. So first I have Warm Brown, which again I haven't tried, but let's see. Ooh, that's nice. That's how Warm Brown looks. It's a light brown with peachish undertones. I also have Rusted Pink, which is what we just used in the previous lip. I'm tending towards Warm Brown just to shake things up as well. So let's see if this experiment works. So I'm going to take Warm Brown. Oh, I think that looks nice. While it looks nice, unfortunately Warm Brown itself is also quite light on me. So maybe, just maybe, I should try the deeper brown, which is Rich Brown. And this is how it swatches. Ooh, let's see how this experiment works out. And this is my way of weirdly trying to make this work. But somehow these two formula don't really go together. What I mean by that is once the liquid lipstick actually dries, it dries to a very dry formula. So it's not creamy, so I can't rub it. I can't really blend it very well. So while the lip liner itself blends beautifully, the liquid lipstick doesn't work with the lip liner. So I am not sure if this was meant to be used together, which is why just using the lip liner on the periphery of my lips didn't work, because the contrast was too great, and when I tried to blend, I was forced to sort of blend the color all across my lips to get an even blend, and these two are actually not working together because it gives us a really dead purple sort of an effect. So I need to experiment a bit more to figure out how I can make Sweet Talker work for me. But this was Sweet Talker with Rich Brown together. For the record, these two don't work together. Sweet Talker on its own is way too light for me and my skin tone. But if you're lighter than me, I do still love this color. I think it's a beautiful peachy nude with pink undertones, and it's guaranteed to look stunning on you if you're lighter than me. Ignore this lip combination, it's a bit of a fail, but this is how Sweet Talker looks with Rich Brown. Four liquid lipsticks down, five more to go. So quickly going on with something interesting. This is a deep one in the shade Famous. It's a deep maroon. Have to be a little careful because it can get messy. This one is a bit alcohol forward in its scent. Like I said, this seems to be a challenge that I face with across the liquid lipsticks formula, in the sense the scent is inconsistent. There are some lipsticks which have a really sweet gourmand scent, which is not overpowering, which I like, whereas some other scents do have a bit of alcohol in them, so they can get overpowering. My hypothesis is this is related to the age of the lipsticks. The older the lipsticks are, then the more alcohol forward the scent is. While this lipstick has not been too long in my collection, I did buy this at an extreme discount. So I do feel that when I bought it itself, the stock was old, but it still performs well. I don't find any other problem or challenge with the lipstick, so I'm still using it. And I do think this is a lovely color on me. This is the shade Famous. It's one of those go to lip colors that I use when I'm feeling lazy or I don't have enough time. So, just like a few swipes here and there with this lipstick, and it really looks like you put in a lot more effort than you actually did. And you can see it's a beautiful maroon. I think very, very flattering for someone of my skin tone. Has a bit of a long dry down like the other lipstick formula, but once it dries down to this creamy matte finish. And what I've noticed is if your lips are a bit too dry, then it can give you those crinkly lips. You just have to make sure that your lips are quite well moisturized. See? You have to wait for a bit to dry, so you can see some of it is coming off in patches because I was just impatient, and we have so many more lipsticks to go through, around I think 14, 15 more lipsticks to go through. But if you wait, then you will see that this becomes quite transfer proof, only that it doesn't really survive multiple cups of coffee or greasy meals. So you do need to carry this along with you for touch-ups. Now time for another pink. I have Trophy Wife in the mini liquid lipstick formula. This is how it looks. It's a beautiful berry pink with a hint of fuchsia. Looks a bit too bright now, but one swipe in, once it's dried down, it's gonna dry down to a really pretty berry pink color. This is Trophy Wife once it's dried down. I know it's not going with the makeup. It's a bit too fuchsia for the makeup today, but I really like this color. It's a color that I have used quite frequently before. And I think I used up an entire full size of this, or I used it long enough that it got old in my collection and I needed to replace it. And I got this, I think, as a gift with purchase, or I bought the mini. I don't exactly remember, but this is Trophy Wife on my skin tone. I don't know how my lips are going to be able to survive this video. I'm only six liquid lipsticks down. I have three more to go, and I have nine more lipsticks to go. Hopefully, the other lipsticks won't be so difficult. Next, I have Icon, which is a bit of an orangey pink, if memory serves. This is how it looks. Right? It is a pink, orangish pink color, or I would say it's a pink with coral undertones. As a color, I do think it's one of those rare colors out there. I don't think it's the best for me and my skin tone, though. I think if you're lighter than me, this would look much better on you. But worth waiting for it to dry to show you the true color of this pigment. The Icon is the shade that I believe she reformulated. It used to be a lot more orangish peach in her first formulation, and I loved that color. I used to wear that color all the time. But then she reformulated her liquid lipsticks, and in that reformulation, Icon was the one shade whose color itself changed. And I'm not sure if I like the new Icon. I actually prefer the old Icon more than the new Icon, but of course, sadly, that's been discontinued. And I don't think it's been released under any other shade name. You can see this is now 80% dry, and it actually looks decent when it's dry. I don't know why I was hating on this lipstick before. This is Icon on my skin tone. Let me know in the comments below if you like this or which of the other lipsticks you've actually liked. Yeah, it has minimal transfer. This is a good reminder to me that I need to play with this shade a lot more. This is largely ignored in my entire Huda Beauty liquid lipstick collection because somehow in my head I thought this didn't work for me, but somehow today I really like the way this looks. Let me know if you agree. This was Icon from the Huda liquid lipstick range, and this is in the mini. So down to my last two liquid lipsticks, starting off with Drama Mama, which is a really intense deep brown lipstick. This is a beautiful color and it's a deeper, more intense version of First Class that we had tried earlier. So First Class is a bit too nude on you because you're, say, on the deeper end of the skin tone spectrum, then this would work perfectly on you. It's of course quite deep on but me. I love how it looks. I've used it several times where I've been lacking time or the inclination to get ready. So I've just literally done nothing on with sunscreen, put this lip color, and it looks gorgeous. Like I put in so much effort than I actually have. One thing about these lipsticks though is even though it dries down to a transfer proof finish, as the day wears on, what happens is you start seeing feathering, which is a bit of the lipstick starts crumbling away at the center of your mouth, which is not a good look at all. It looks very strange when the lipstick is not at the center of your mouth, but is there on the rest of your lips. So this is the kind of formula that needs frequent touch-ups that you need to take care of. That way, it's a bit high maintenance, even though once you apply and once it dries down, it does appear transfer proof. And you can see how it looks with the dry down. I think it's a stunning color. It's again a thin formula, but because the color is so deep, very richly pigmented, so it works on my skin tone. You can see very minimal transfer, and that's only because we're working on a time crunch and I can't wait indefinitely for like 4 5 minutes for this lips to dry. But in real life, of course, you are not under a time pressure to quickly move on to the next lipstick. So just give it a bit of time, like maybe 3 to 4 minutes, and then it will be transfer proof or budge proof till the time you start having a lot of coffee or greasy meal. Down to my last shade from the 9 Huda Beauty liquid lipsticks that I have. Don't worry, we have 9 more. And this is in the shade Lover. It's a bright red with pinkish undertones, again in the liquid lipstick formula. This is how it looks. It's super bright. It's so bright, it almost looks neon on me. I look like a clown with this lip color. And here it is dried down. I know it looks terrible with my current makeup, but I would say it doesn't look great standalone as well. I don't think this is the color for me. Maybe it's something to do with the undertone. So I am not a fan of this shade, which is Lover on my skin tone. If I need a red, I actually prefer Miss America from this lipstick formula. Or as we go through other lip formulas, you'll see I have something called El Cinco de Mayo, which looks so much more better on me from Huda Beauty. But I just hold on to this again for reference purposes, for comparison purposes, because I think that could be helpful. This was Lover from Huda Beauty in the liquid lipstick formula. That was the last of the liquid lipsticks. We're finally done with 9 liquid lipsticks and we have 9 more Huda Beauty lipsticks to go. So now to give my lips a bit of a break, I'm going into the lip glosses. I have 2 lip glosses from Huda Beauty. This is her 4 filler lip glosses. This is the first time I'm trying this formula, so I don't know what to expect. So first I have Bombshell here. This has quite a juicy doe foot applicator. And it's quite a thick formula. pretty pigmented. This is how Bombshell looks. I think this would look good on me. This is a lovely gloss. It has a lot of body. It's pretty nourishing, but not too overpowering. Like, I don't feel like it's getting into the crevices of my lips. I used to love matte lipstick formulas and like really not enjoy glossy finishes or satiny finishes. But off late, I've been enjoying that as well. And to be honest, I thought I would need some sort of lip liner because I didn't expect this to be so pigmented. As you would have seen, I do have pigmented two-tone darker lips. But as you can see, it's pigmented enough that it actually looks like my natural lip color, just a lot more juicy. And I really like the way it looks on me. I think it's also working really well with the makeup look that I have. It just makes my lips look really healthy. That is something that I really enjoy because, especially after swatching like 9 liquid lipsticks almost continuously, my lips were feeling raw, they were feeling the pain. This feels really good, really nourishing, really good. Obviously, this is going to transfer. See, that's how it transfers, but even if it transfers, there's still so much of the product and the pigment on the lips that I think this is quite wearable for someone like me who is like a certified matte lipstick lover, hater of lip glosses. This is such a good gloss, and the name for filler makes sense because I do have a bit of a dry lip situation right now, and I do find that it's filling in the crevices of my lips. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I love that these are so much more easy to take off compared to the liquid lipsticks. I mean, that is but natural. But to actually feel the difference back to back, the relief is quite a lot. I have the next lip gloss, which is Coco, which is like this rich brown lip color. I'm curious to see how this would look on me. This is Coco. Ooh, Coco looks so rich and nice. That's one swipe with like the remaining pigment. I'm gonna use some more just to see the full strength of the pigment. I honestly really like this product. Just have a look at the doe foot. Like, it is so big and juicy. It really gives you a lot of spreadability and gets a lot of the product on your lips the first time round. This color looks stunning. And I love that this lip gloss is thick but not gloopy, so it doesn't get messy. It doesn't feel very heavy or overpowering on my lips either. It doesn't get anywhere. It stays where it's applied. And it makes your lips look so healthy. Like, I can't stop looking at my lips right now. And you can see the difference and look at the shine. So you've got Bombshell at the bottom and Coco on top. Let me know what you prefer. I think Bombshell is great for a natural, untouched, almost makeup-free look, whereas Coco has a bit more impact just because the color is so much more different. I never thought I'd be saying this as a person who loves matte lipsticks, but I actually like these lip glosses and I would be open to trying more shades from Huda Beauty's lip gloss line. So 11 lipsticks down, 7 more to go. So now onto the Bullet matte lipstick formula. So in no particular order, here I have a mini Power Bullet lipstick formula and this is in the shade Third Date. And it's a lipstick that I haven't tried. And look at how cute this bullet is. And straight off the bat, I have a feeling this pink will look really good on me. This is a winner. I can feel it. Wow, this pink is like made for my skin tone. It's a creamy, powdery matte formula, very comfortable, very weightless on the lips, quite richly pigmented. And even though it's a matte finish, it's not drying at all. But it is the mini soft creamy bullet formula and the mini is really tiny. So you will be done in no time. I have a mini size version in this bullet formula and a full size as well. So let me tell you the difference. The mini has like zero point 0.9 grams of product whereas the full size has 3 grams of product. So the mini is actually like the full size is actually 3 times the size of the mini, like more than 3 times the size of the mini. So I think at a price per gram standpoint, you're actually better off buying the full size. Unless of course you have so many lipsticks that you don't expect to use these lipsticks up, which is my situation right now. But this is Third Date, and if you're a lover of matte lipsticks and you're in the market for a pink, then, and if you're in and around my skin tone, then I think this is a really good shade for that use case. It's so pretty. I don't want to take this off. Oh, by the way, it does transfer, but because it's so richly pigmented, the transfer will be minimal. So I expect that you can get by around 5 to 6 hours with no touch ups. So, like, really minimal transfer. I think the powdery finish really helps with minimizing transfer. The next bullet lipstick that I have is again a mini, and this is in the shade Ladies Night. It's going to be a deeper, more magenta brown, actually a berry color. And let's see how this swatches. Oh, that's a beautiful color. Oh my god. This is again similar formula. So creamy, powdery matte finish. Very comfortable, very weightless formula. Non-drying, doesn't get into the crevices of your lips. This color is stunning. Isn't it good? It doesn't seem to have any scent as well. Yep, I can't smell anything, which is great. What I love in this lipstick, in this product portfolio of Huda's, is that the colors are so rich and brown skin friendly that it's actually hard to stop with just one. There's so many beautiful colors that would work on someone in and around my skin tone. That is something I really appreciate because as a brown skin girly, you don't really have those many options. In most cases, only a minority of the shades work for you. So the fact that majority of the lip shades in her line work for me is very gratifying, and it's one of those rare instances where it feels good to have so many choices and the problem of plenty. This is a superb lip color on me. I can't stop looking at myself in this. My god, I sound like such a narcissist. But seriously, I think this lip color, especially with this makeup look, is looking great. As always, this will transfer a little bit, but very minor. It's like a very light dusting of the color. It's going to be richly pigmented. So it's going to last you for a really long time. When I say long time, I mean it's going to last you at least 5 to 6 hours. One drawback with this mini is that I find that the bullet is quite delicate, so I am a little scared to put too much pressure. And I have had some of these lipsticks break on me, but that's only in the case of the mini. In the case of the full size, which is like 3 times the size of the mini, it's quite sturdy, so you don't have to handle them with, kid gloves or anything like that. And now I'm confused between third date and ladies' night. Which one works better on me? I'm going to take this off and come back with the last one, which is possibly the oldest lip color that I have in my collection from Huda Beauty, which is El Cinco de Mayo. By the way, these are really easy to take off as well, as opposed to the liquid lipstick formula. So if you have to choose between the bullet matte lipstick and the liquid lipstick, my recommendation would be the bullet matte. Now finally down to my last bullet matte lipstick. This is quite old in my collection. Let's see if this is still usable. I think it smells fine, like there is no scent. And this is how it looks. It's a very rich red. For me, I think very reminiscent of Ruby Woo. It's like a cool toned bright red. I think these lipsticks can also be sheered or deepened based on your preference. So I'm going to try the sheer application with this one. You can see how pigmented even that slight touch of the lipstick was. That's how the sheer application is. Now, it doesn't lend itself to different kinds of application because the formula itself is not a creamy, easily spreadable formula. It's more a powdery matte formula. So, for example, you know how there are some lipsticks where you just apply a hint of the pigment and then you rub your lips together or use your finger and then the product spreads seamlessly across the lip? That's not going to happen with this. So, it might work with a brush, like you can use a lip brush to do that, but on its own, it's not going to spread easily. So, while it can be used either sheer or deepened, it typically lends itself to a more deepened version of the lip formula. I hope that is clear. So I'm going to deepen this up. Ooh, that is such a rich red. Very flattering in my opinion. It has a bit of an orange base as well. For me, this lip color is very reminiscent of Ruby Woo and Healthy, Wealthy and Thriving. I think the only difference is that this has a bit of a more orange base, whereas Ruby Woo and Healthy, Wealthy and Thriving don't have as much orange or peachish undertones. This is a very rich, very vibrant, very impactful color. So it's not for the faint of heart, it's not your everyday lip, but it's definitely the kind of lip that you kind of whip out for special occasions. Formula wise performs exactly like the other ones, which is comfortable, weightless, powdery matte does transfer, but again stays put. It's quite pigmented. A lot of good things to talk about this lipstick. The only thing is, of course, if you're not used to lipsticks or high impact lipsticks, this can feel a little off. I am used to bright colors. I love bright reds, so for me this doesn't feel as strange. And those are the three matte lipsticks that we just went through. We just have four more lip products to go, and then we will be done. If you're still around, thank you so much, and please let me know in the comments below what your favorite lip shade so far has been and any thoughts in terms of this sort of a video format. And I hope this video has been helpful so far. Whew. This has been a marathon filming session, okay? I'm telling you, swatching like 50, 18 lip products back to back is not, surprisingly not easy. At least my lips are crying at this point. But we're down to our last matte lipstick, and this is in the glow cream formula, sorry, cream glow formula, and this is in the shade Amore. This was again a really cool formula, a beautiful rich brown. I haven't worn this, but I did swatch this and try this on when this came out. So you can see it's beautiful, very reminiscent of the Coco lip gloss and Drama Mama liquid lipstick that we tried earlier in this video. This is such a comfortable, nourishing formula. This is such an interesting lipstick formula. Once you start swiping, you can start seeing the glossy, satiny finish. It actually feels like the best of both worlds. The shine and nourishment of a lip gloss with the pigment of a lipstick. Like, you can see how pigmented this is. It feels amazing, but I do personally find that this lip color is a tad a bit too dark for me. But I love that somebody who's much deeper than me has this as an option. I was just a bit of a chicken, so I didn't experiment too much with the shades in this formula, and I just got one. But I honestly love the way this feels. It's very comfortable. It literally feels like a lip balm. It's very nourishing. It really hugs the contours of your lips. I love how pigmented it is. It also feels weightless. So this is in the shade Amore, and I can't wait to try more shades from this line. Of course, this is going to transfer. Let's see how much it transfers. It transfers quite a bit, but because it is so richly pigmented, I expect that this will last around 3 to 4 hours. I haven't really tried this in action, but just the way I see it, the colors stay back after the transfer test, I do think this will last me at least 4 to 5 hours. This is a beautiful vampy color. If you're deeper than me, I think this would be stunning on you. But of course, on me, I do find that it's a tad bit too dark on me. When I last checked, I thought there were very few shades in this range, so I really hope this line has not been discontinued because I actually think this is quite an innovative formula and not many brands have lip formulas like these. And now down to our last three lipsticks. Super excited that we are in the last rung of this marathon lipstick swatching video. But I really hope this has been useful for you so far. I'll just take this off and be back. Down to the last three lip products from Huda Beauty. This is from her lip blush formula. And the reason I wanted to keep it for the very end is that these leave a bit of a stain on your lips. So I don't want to try them first and then have my lips be stained for the remainder of the video, which is why I held on to them last. I have three shades here: Coral Kiss, Apricot Kiss, and Berry Kiss. So first I have Coral Kiss. And this is how the packaging looks. This sort of a juicy doe foot. This is how Coral Kiss swatches. It literally swatches like you can see nothing. This is the kind of lip product that really needs multiple swipes for it to show up on my skin tone. I love the way this applies. It really applies like I'm putting a burst of water on my skin. And this feeling is consistent across all the three shades that I have. So this is one swipe. As you can see, with one swipe, it looks like this is just my lips but better. So now going in with swipe number 2, again, still looks like my lips but better. You can see it has a bit of a brownish tint on my hand, but that was just one swipe as well. But on my lips, you can see a bit of the coral tint. Waiting for it to settle a bit before going in with swipe number 3. And it is only on swipe number 3 that you can see some of the pigment. That too only on the lower lip where I have less pigmentation, which is less natural pigmentation. My top lip is actually quite brown, so you can't see much of the color unless it's a really pigmented lip product. I do find a slight burning sensation now, but it could possibly be because I have been swatching like 15 other lipsticks back to back and use so many cotton pads to take lipstick off. So it could just be that my lips are sensitive. But you have to wait for a bit for this lip product to sink in and stain the lips. I have been using these non-stop for the gym. I think they are perfect wear and forget sort of lip products. Looks like you didn't put any effort, but when you put it, it does make you look a lot more alive. Now, these are supposed to be lip and cheek stains, but these really don't show up on my cheeks at least. I already have some product on my cheeks, so maybe I should take it off and show you. You can see how the coral lip kiss stain has sort of stained my lips. Doesn't transfer, but doesn't stay put as well. For me, like I've worn this to the gym and within an hour and a half, it sort of, with sips of water, it sort of comes off. Now I'm going to show you how this looks on the cheek. My expectation is that this won't stain too much. Girl, you're my energy. Use me up like a battery. Oh, surprisingly, this shows. Tell me that you're okay. But honestly, it's very, very faint. Like, I have tried this in other shades, and even if it shows for like 2-3 minutes, it literally disappears within a little bit. So I wouldn't buy these for their cheek staining properties. I would buy them more for their lip staining properties. And you can see, like, I find that there's nothing here still. Just gives like a temporary hint of color, I would say, on the cheeks, but it stays put on the lips. And you can see, this is what I meant by this would stain the lips. And if you have delicate or dry patches on your lips, the color will stain there even more. I'm sorry about that, but I'm trying to do my best here to show you the color. Next, I have Berry Kiss, driving all day, yeah, which is more like a brownish red. I have typically needed 3 swipes for this also to show through. So that was swipe number 1 and that is swipe number 2. I think today I just needed 2 swipes because it was already stained. I have tried this on my cheeks, literally invisible. I've tried like 3 sort of dotting it thrice on the lips. On the cheeks, sorry, and it stays for like a few seconds, but then it disappears. The one thing is you have to wait a bit for it to dry down, like probably a minute or 2. So this is Berry Kiss, completely stained my lips. Super transfer proof, which is great, but doesn't stay put a long time. I'm telling you, I've been wearing this almost every day for the gym, like between this and Apricot Kiss. But they don't last the duration of the class. So I love this formula because I find it's a great way to make you look a little less dead and give you a lot more color and life without taking too much time. But I do personally find that they don't last a while. So if the expectation is you will put this on, go work out, go meet a friend, etc. without touch-ups, then no, that's not going to happen. This is Berry Kiss and I love the way this looks for me on my skin tone. If you're in and around my skin tone or even slightly deeper than me, I think Berry Kiss will look great on you. Drum roll please. We're down to our last lipstick or lip product for the day. And I'm sorry if my voice has gotten hoarse in this process. My lips are definitely feeling raw, but I really hope it was worth it for you all. This is the lip blush in Apricot Kiss. Again, same formula. I love it because it gives a beautiful coral peachish tint, which I think looks great on me. That's one swipe on. I usually like going in with 2 to 3 swipes of this color as well, because on its own I don't find it quite pigmented, and especially because it doesn't stay for a while. That's my way of prolonging the wear. Let's see how this performs on the cheeks as well. I haven't really tried it on the cheeks. It's quite orange. That's actually quite pigmented on the cheeks, not gonna lie. Much better than I expected. This is how Apricot Kiss looks when it's dried down. This is two swipes in. Of course, not looking the best with the current makeup that I have on, but I love the way this color is. It's such a nice, understated yet eye-catching color, and it's a good way to at least wake me up when I'm heading to the gym. I love the way these lipsticks feel, these lip stains feel. They're thin, weightless, literally feels like I have nothing on. This is a stain, so it doesn't transfer, which I love. But like I've said before, this won't last too long, so you can expect at most 1 to 2 hours. That was my marathon Huda Beauty lipstick swatch haul. I did not plan for myself to own so many Huda Beauty lipsticks, it just happened. Huda Beauty conducts a lot of really good sales, and a lot of these products are stuff that I've bought at 40 to 50% off at opportune times over the years. That brings us to the end of today's video. We went through 18 lip products from Huda Beauty, 9 in the liquid lipstick formula, 2 in the 4 filler glosses, 3 in the Power Bullet Matte lipsticks, 1 in the Glowy Bullet Matte, and 3 in the lip blush or lip and cheek stain formula. I hope you found this video helpful, and I really hope this video becomes your definitive guide to Huda Beauty whenever you are trying to figure out which lip product to get from her line. Please let me know what you think in the comments below, and if you have any other video ideas or suggestions, I would love to see if I can make that happen. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you around. Bye bye. 너를 보고 싶어 꿈에 다시 와줘